Hi, I'm Naomi Tucker, and today I wanted to talk to you about 10 ways to stay sane in an insane world. There is so much going on in the world right now, and sometimes it's really hard to just keep up on all of the things. So, how do you stay sane, manage your busy job, and in this crazy world of ours? That's what we're going to talk about today. And if you're here live, definitely go ahead and send a comment to me through the live stream chat. It's always so nice to see those of you that join live because then I get a chance to kind of chat with you while I'm here. So if that is you, definitely go ahead and say hello and let me know where you're coming from. And then maybe even tell me what is one of your tips that you use in order to stay sane in an insane world, because I would love to know. But it's great to see you. My name is Naomi Tucker, and I am a strategic events consultant. And then I'm also a life coach. And I love just coaching on burnout prevention, leadership, and productivity. So, very good to be able to be here today and share just some tips that I have learned and tips probably that you have already known, but it's always good to just hear about them over and over and over again because they serve as some really great reminders to us that we should take it easy, and some of the things that we can do are so simple and so easy to just keep our sanity. So what do I mean about keeping my sanity? What exactly is that I'm really talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about that a little bit today. So I wrote down some notes that I wanted to make sure that I shared with you today. So again, we're talking about how to stay sane in an insane world. And yeah, I like to talk about this because many times when you are talking to maybe colleagues, uh, people in the industry, or even just your friends, and that may not even be in the industry, many people are just really trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're trying to keep up with the flow of things. And at times it can be really hard to just keep up with everything. So these are some really good tips that I use personally to kind of help me stay grounded and stay sane. So we'll start to get to them here, and you just let me know if any of these do resonate with you. So the first tip that I have for you to stay sane in an insane world is, I have a question for you. Where do you normally get the information about the world? Okay, many of us get the information about the world through television. We get it through our phones and apps and social media and things like that. So my first tip, you probably have guessed it, is really stop watching the news. And this would be like wherever you get your news source from. For me, for a while, I used to get my news source from my phone. There's a news app that is on my iPhone. And at first, I thought it was really cool to not necessarily watch the news, but just to get the information from reading blogs and getting updates that way. And I am a person that loves to read. I love to read a lot. So for me, reading is kind of that mechanism, or that kind of that medium that I would use in order to get my information about the world. But I've noticed that in reading the news, it just was always something else, right? And not to say that you do not have compassion or empathy for things that do happen in the world. I do definitely think that there's like a time and a place for it, but there's always so much going on at any given time. It's really hard for us to say that we really can empathize with everything, can be there for everything. We only have so much energy in the day, and it's really, you have to be highly selective of what you allow in. And so that doesn't mean on things that matter to you and things that are important to you that you don't tap in and just see what's happening here and there. But I know for me, cutting myself off from the news was a game changer. So that's what I would say. I would say stop watching or reading the news wherever you get your information from, to stop, because what happens is you'll get that information, and usually you just need to dig in more, and then you want to watch the video about the thing, and then you want to read the thing, and then now it's social media, you want to go on TikTok and see what everybody has to say about that thing. And before you know it, it has consumed a lot of your life and a lot of the hours of your day. So I just say cut it off, stop watching the news. If you really care about things that happen, or some of the times we feel like it's our civil duty to care, right? I think that's fine. I still do the same. I still tap in. Then make a point to log in at a specific point in time and get your updates. So if that's early in the morning, from 7 to 7:30, go ahead and set aside that time for you to get caught up on what's happening in the world very quickly before you move on, or do it in the evening. Pick your time to do it, not necessarily get lost in it, and make sure you set an alarm for it, especially if you're a person that can get tapped in and then never get out. So, stop watching the news is kind of my first one, because that can just take us on tangents. And that also sets the stage for our emotion and how we are emotionally present throughout the day. So you really have to be careful about that, because if you're really excited and eager to start your day, then maybe you need to figure out how to get your news in a different way that will still allow you to maintain that kind of positive energy coming into your day. So for me, it's not tapping in as much to the news. It's definitely turning that off, because I want to start my day focused and being as productive as possible. And if I do get it in, it's just really briefly, just so that I can get caught up on what's happening in the world, and then I tap out. So that is my tip for you. Stop watching the news. Second tip is kind of along these lines. Second tip is going to be to delete your social media platform. And yeah, I just said go ahead and delete it. But if anything, just minimize it. And there's different ways that you can do that. Now, the reason why I say that is platforms like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of those platforms can be highly addictive. They really can. And you can definitely get lost in the sauce when it comes to just the proverbial scrolling down the page, seeing what everybody's doing. And but that also can then spur on you having feelings of keeping up with things, keeping up with the person. Oh, is Susie going on vacation? Well, then that means that, oh, I need to book a vacation too. When do I book my next vacation, right? Oh, so and so got a new house. Then that makes you sometimes covet and feel like, oh, well, my house doesn't look so good. So maybe I need to do that too. Maybe I need to do that renovation as well. Most of those things can be healthy because we naturally want to learn and grow, and we are built to kind of grow outwards. But some of the things can just bring on other stress in your life that you probably would not rather have, right? So make sure that you are managing it. So I say to stop your social media. Um, if anything, just like you would do the news, just limit it to a certain amount. If you're a person that knows that you can get lost, again, you want to make sure that you are timing it very well. And other than that, there are ways that you can do it. So on my phone, I have natural folders for all your apps. So I think whether you're an Android user or if you're an iPhone user, you can create folders for, let's say, the apps that are on your phone. I suggest that you just create a social media folder and put it in there. That way it's hidden and it's not a natural thing for you to just hop on your phone and just click that big Facebook button that's right there in the front. So hide it within a folder. And if you even want, a lot of people like to move it all the way to the very end of all your apps. That way you have a hard time finding it. And usually when that's the case, you typically won't have to search for it. Thus, you will find that your time on that application would go down. So again, I would just say go ahead and delete or hide your social media platforms. Okay. All right. So another tip, that was like my number 2 tip, I think, to stay sane in an insane world. My number 3 tip would be to really focus on the circle, the people that are around you, right? It can be really helpful for you to limit your circle. And and I say that because many times us having big circles and many friends and many possibilities, much of the time that then allows us to not necessarily be focused on the things that we want and the relationships that we want to cultivate. Our worlds are pretty much there are many relationships that we all have, and our relationships are very powerful. So I would just say evaluate your circle. If there are people that are bringing things to you, bringing life into your world, uh, just you're benefiting from that relationship, it is a good relationship, or maybe you're benefiting them. um, Make sure that it's a strong, healthy relationship, or a relationship you definitely want to spend the time and energy, because relationships take time and energy, that you make sure that you are pouring into that relationship, that you are definitely pouring into that relationship. So, and for those that you pretty much have a relationship where it's just here and there, and it's not necessarily, all that deep, then maybe you might want to take a step back. For me, especially relationships that I have to pour a lot into, I have to be there for someone, and it's not necessarily reciprocated, or a person that you're always saying, "Hey, let's go out for dinner. Let's go out for dinner." And you're always the one pushing it. There's not necessarily that exchange there. Then maybe you're working too hard, and maybe it's just time for you to just take a step back. It doesn't mean that you have to write them a letter and say, "I will no longer be your friend." It's just, "Hey, I'm going to take a step back. If that person wants to pursue me, then sure, I will engage. Other than that, I'm just going to be here, hover, maybe say hi to them here and there on a social media platform, but not necessarily putting my energy into it." So limit your circle. You want to make sure that you are speaking into people, or people speaking into you, and you have a really healthy balance with your relationships. All right. So number 4 is to find things that you just purely enjoy. Many times, because we are so busy and everything's going on in the world, we tend to, especially in the industry. I'm in the event industry. Especially in the event industry, we are servers, we are pleasers. We want to make sure everybody's taken care of. Everybody has their cake and they're eating it too, but we then forget about ourselves. So it's really important for us to remember about ourselves. What lights us up, what brings us joy, and definitely pursue what those things are. And again, all it takes is just a little bit. It takes an hour, half an hour on your calendar. I also say schedule this in. This is one of those different ways to stay sane that you should put in your calendar, whatever hobby it is. If you like to play tennis, because I love to play tennis, find maybe one day a week that you play tennis with, let's say, that person that you really want to pour into a relationship with, and just play tennis with them one day a week. That way, you're taking care of both of these at one time. It's important to put those things on our calendar because we can lose sight of it. And then 5 years down the road, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't picked up that instrument in a while," or "I haven't went out and sang," or whatever it is, whatever hobby you enjoy. "I haven't crocheted," or "I haven't gone out to a concert." Whatever it is, you would lose sight of it, and you want to make sure that you keep that tapped in. So find a hobby, whatever it is that you enjoy, put it on your calendar so that you can enjoy it more in your life. And that definitely can help you to stay sane, because when we're tapping into things that we enjoy, it brings us happiness, it increases our natural dopamine levels, and it just overall makes us feel good, makes us feel grounded, and makes us stay sane. Okay, so I think this is the fifth one already. The fifth one. The fifth one I have for you is prioritize what you take into your body. And this is so important. I think I'm even just doing a reevaluation of this right now, because many of times we can get lost, right? We can travel, you go from place to place, and you're always traveling, and you're always eating at all those different places that you're traveling at. And then before you know it, boom, you are in a place where, oh my goodness, I have not prioritized what I'm putting into my body. So making sure that you're paying attention to your health, because it can make you just overall feel better. It can feel better. You can feel more at ease. You'll have high energetic levels, and it's all around good. So, how you do that? How you would do that would be to make sure that you are eating fruits and vegetables, plenty of fruits and vegetables, get that natural energy into your life. Um, in making sure that you limit alcohol. I always say that because I know as an event professional and in our industry, we do a lot in that area. So making sure that we limit it. Maybe we go on and off with different ways of like not necessarily indulging, and then just be in moderation with most of the things. When it comes to some of those more like alcohol and some of those, other things that you would probably eat, make sure that you're definitely being in moderation with those things and taking into your body oxygen, sunshine, just making sure that you're prioritizing everything that you're ingesting so that you can make sure that your body is very healthy. Now, number 6, I talked about this already. It's like eat healthier. So definitely try to like eat healthier for sure. Fruits and vegetables, eating in moderation. I was just reading a book that talked about, I think it's Hara Hachebu. Do not quote me on that, but it's a Japanese term that really talks about eating 80% of what's in your body. Um, eating not eating 80% of what's in your body, but eating 80% of what's on your plate. Like really get yourself only 80% full, not where you're stuffing yourself and, overflowing with food in your gut, but just taking in about 80%, stopping before you're full can really help you lead a more happier life. And I was reading a book called The Blue Zones, which is an amazing book about the different places that people are happier within the world and the things that they eat and how they enjoy their lives. And it really gave light to some of the changes that you can make when it comes to um, your life in order to extend your life expectancy. All right. So number 7. Number 7 is to practice gratitude. And this is a good one because practicing gratitude it doesn't have to be a gratitude journal. Although I have a gratitude journal for like in the evenings, I like to write down 5 things that I'm grateful for that day. But it's really getting centered, getting to a point where you just are reflecting on your life and practicing gratitude for the things that you have, for the air that you're breathing, for the things that you get to see if you're traveling, for the people that you get to help, for your family, right? When you start to get into this place where you're just grateful, it just really helps you again to stay centered and feel very good about you, good about your life. Because when things are running around crazy and you feel like you need to catch up, it can be hard to really focus on the things that are actually just working for you. So definitely think of those things. Take about 15 minutes a day and just practice gratitude. It can be on your walk and just kind of say, oh my goodness, I'm just so thankful to be going on this walk. When people are grateful, you naturally just feel just so expressive. Like once you're grateful about one thing, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm grateful for that book. I'm grateful for my fingers. And it just gets you in such a really great feeling inside. So practice gratitude is number 7. Um, and then I have another one that I had, and I have to talk to you about this one because it's one that, in reading that same book, it was really good. It really talked about making sure that you have a purpose, pride, and pleasure. So I guess I would say focus on your purpose, pride, pleasure matrix would be that number 9. And that what that means is that for true happiness, this Blue Zone book talked about, you want to have a sense of purpose, meaning like what you're here, what you're here to do, or what your current purpose is. So if that's helping people create dynamic experiences through planning events for them, then that's what you're here for. If you're a nurse and you're here to just ensure that people feel good and that you are maintaining and helping them with their overall health, then that is what you're here for and what you're here to do. That's like the purpose that drives you. You want to make sure that you're connected to that purpose that drives you. And you want to feel good about what you're contributing into the world. So that's kind of what that pride is. It's like you want to feel good about what you're doing, what you're contributing into the world, what you're seeing in your circles, how you feel, your family, your relationships. You want to have a sense of pride about that as well. And then pleasure, you want to make sure that you have the things that make you happy. And most of those things we talked about today, like are you pursuing your hobbies? Are you pursuing some of those things that you definitely want to do in your life? That would be kind of what that sense of pleasure would be. And when you have all of these three together, then you truly feel happy and you feel more connected and more sane, because when you can just slow down and just realize those three things, then everything else that happens outside doesn't necessarily seem to matter. And it doesn't mean that we can't, again, have compassion, have empathy, donate, go help, go assist. Those things kind of help drive our purpose. So if we come into the awareness of news that's not so good, but then it also fuels our purpose in some way, something that we can help and support, then let's do it. However, if it's something that just gets us in our mind and gets us going, then perhaps it isn't the best, right? Because we want to make sure that we're, connecting and helping and making some changes ourselves. So that is what that pleasure, pride, purpose matrix is. And that's what I would say, increase that in your life. And then lastly, it's just to not take life so seriously. And I know this can be hard because things are going on that seems oh so serious. But in reality, when you really think about how things were probably even 400 years ago, and even you go back further, many times the spreading of news wasn't as quick as it is today. So you have to ask yourself, do you really need to hear about every single thing that happens in every single area of the world all the time? I think that if you do that, you definitely, that's a version, that is a definition of insanity itself. So it's important that we just really don't take life too seriously, that we focus on our lives, what we can do, and the impacts that we can make within the circles that we have. And then hopefully that will continue to multiply outward by us being grounded. And then you can actually impact so many others in that way by just being focused, just slowing down, and really just making an impact on the circle that you have. And that all starts with you. So I hope that these are really great tips for you. I will just reread through them real quick. So the 10 ways to stay sane in an insane world that we talked about is to stop watching the news or limit the news. So maybe only have it for 30 minutes a day. And that can just help you to just not focus and get lost in the sauce when it comes to news. To do the same for your social media platforms. So making sure that you only limit those to a few minutes a day as well. Limit yourself, set an alarm if you have to. Limit your circle, so only having a few people around you and kind of responsible for filling up your cup or you're filling up theirs. And then find hobbies that you enjoy. What do you like doing? Do you make time for those things? Go ahead and put time on your calendar for those things today and start doing them so you can focus on increasing your happiness. Prioritize what you take into your body. So this just means, it can mean alcohol, drugs, it can mean your food, it can mean sunshine. Make sure you're prioritizing the things that you want to focus on coming into your body for the best first version of yourself. Eat healthier, focusing on fruits and vegetables and all those healthy things that can help your body feel better and to minimize disease in your body. Practice gratitude, just being thankful for everything. Thankful for the computer, for me to talk to you today. I'm thankful for me to have a voice to speak. Practice gratitude. Take about 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day to just really practice that. And you can do that and combine it with something here, which is combine it with a hobby, combine it with walking, combine it with journaling. That's something you can do with other things. And then increase your pleasure, pride, purpose matrix, which is making sure that you just are aligned to what your purpose is. Are you proud of the things that are happening in your life right now? And do you have a sense of pleasure, whether that's doing hobbies that you enjoy, spending time with the people that you want, making sure that that's there for you. And then finally, don't take life too seriously because life is what you make it. And so be light about it. Be like a child about your life in some ways, and be responsible and enjoy it because there's only one life that we have. So hopefully these are great ways that you can use to stay sane in an insane world. I really appreciated you just jumping on and being on this live stream with me. If you have any tips that you want to go ahead and put down, definitely go ahead and put them in the comments for me. And then if you want to really start doing some more reflection about this and you feel as though, hey, I need to just simplify things about my life, then I just encourage you to grab my Master Your Burnout Guide. It's going to be here in the description for you to download and then use that in order to get a simple get more simple about things that you're doing in your life and hopefully preventing your burnout. But thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. Have a good week and stay on purpose.